Alright guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Studio One Broadside. This is a Broadcon, I think is what they call it. This is from Studio One. Studio One or Moon Studio or Studio Cell, as they have been called over the years. But this is basically the same company that did the Unicron, the Cell, whatever, that got the HasLab Unicron, Debaco. This is an interesting character because he is from G1, and a lot of people don't know who this character is, but essentially this character existed in 3 episodes, 3 main episodes of the original G1 continuity in Season 3, and there was a lot of animation errors. For example, they were Decepticon spies. There's a whole kind of things. But this is actually the third. There is a third toy of this character ever released. There's the G1 toy, which is it's G1, and then there was a Titan Returns version. I owned the Titan. It looks really good. As you can say, here's the box. It definitely looks like G1. He has light up eyes. It looks like there is the carrier mode. And there you can see there is the jet mode, which honestly the jet mode is probably is the weakest looking. It's the weakest looking. And then, there it is right there. I mainly got this guy for Battleship mode, honestly. I think the Battleship mode is probably the strongest version. But let's go ahead and let's crack her open. Let's get the packaging undone here. This is a really cool box. I might keep this box. But I wanted to open this up on camera for you guys. Give a little first impressions. So let's not move my stage. All right, here comes a clamshell. So we got, is this a poster? Or is this the instructions? So this looks like the instructions. All right, let's take a look here. Clamshell piece off. All right, we got a flip out handle. Ooh, this does not feel that great. This almost feels 3D printed. It's a very, very rough plastic. And then we got 2 axes. They're not painted, so that's kind of a bummer. We've got the kind of like, tower for when he's in. And then we've got a magnet here, which is kind of, it's for the light up features. And then we got another gun. So I mean, two guns. And then we got the figure here. Let's get him out. And then we got a screwdriver. We got a screwdriver, so that's interesting. All right, so he's a big boy. He is a big boy. Okay, he's got dead eyes. That's unfortunate. He's got ratchets. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, we can pull the arms out. I mean, oh, he's got butterfly joints. Okay. Okay, do we have? Okay, so there we go. We gotta kind of get him. Oh, it does not. I mean, yeah, it's not. It doesn't feel good. It feels, but again, it's probably a little bit denser plastic. Oh, he does have an ab crunch, and he has a somewhat of a kind of a loose weight swivel. And then we've got the legs, and I'm assuming they have to disconnect somehow. According to the instructions, you should just, well, not that. According to the instructions, they're supposed to just come down, but that's not. Oh, okay, so there's a peg. They're supposed to come down. It looks like they did a little bit. There we go. It is not the easiest thing to do, I can say that. But there he is. He's so tall. Definitely a big boy. So yeah, I mean, he's got pretty good. I like how you can kind of go like that. So I mean, he's got pretty good articulation. I wish that would lock in. It's probably a locking mechanism, but he seems to hold up. So I mean, it's not like he's got that ankle rocker. So I mean, and no toe tilt really. And let's see his hands. He's got full articulated hands. So I mean, and then I believe this plugs in on the back here somewhere. I'm not sure, but I think it's supposed to plug in the back. And then the weapons that comes off on these, which then allows you to, and they went rolling away on me. But yeah, he looks really awesome. He looks really awesome. He's a big boy. He is definitely a big boy. Let's see. He's got a lot of articulation, that's for sure. For being a big bot, I mean, he's got, you could do cross. I think he's supposed to have, I mean, he stands up pretty much on his own. I mean, he does kind of want to either lean forward or lean back a little bit. So I think that is the official like what he's supposed to look like. But I honestly, I like that a lot better, me personally. But to each their own. It doesn't really matter either way. Yeah, this train is very, very supposed to be. There it is. Okay, so open that up. And after that, just folds in, and then you want to, where that piece is like that, and click it again. So kind of just open it. It opens up really easy too. This is not like difficult. Then rotate it that way, and yeah, it does not look like it is difficult to do. And then the head looks like this piece is going to. Oh, and it's on a little double jointed too, so that's really interesting. It's supposed to pop up, but I don't see a part where it's supposed to pop up. I can see it, but I think I need to get under that, and that's what spudgers are for. I wish I need to get new ones. We need to lift this piece up. This needs to come up, and this is supposed to. Okay, I can't get underneath it. Oh man, it is stuck. It is stuck. Yeah. Well, there goes my attempt, but yeah, no, it's a really cool figure. It's very light. I mean, it's got a little weight to it, but it definitely reminds me of the Unicron, which I have. So there he is next to an SH Figure Arts. So a standard SH Figure Arts figure comes up to about his knee. So that gives you an idea of how big he is. So it's a significantly big figure. Here he is next to a Hasbro Deluxe, or Voyager, I guess, but it's deluxe size, so it's again it comes up to just barely underneath the knee. And then here he is next to a Combiner. So you can see that, I mean, he's like kind of standard stance right now, but you can see he comes up to just, probably if he was standing upright, he probably comes up to just the tip. He probably comes up to about here if he were to stand up. So roughly about right here, if I had him up standing straight. Maybe not. I'm going to go ahead and get this guy transformed off camera, and then we're going to take a look at the Battleship, and then we'll take a look at the jet mode. Alright, so here we have Boardcon Broadside in his first vehicle mode. This is probably the mode, if I'm going to display him, I probably would display him in ship mode. It's the cleanest mode. I mean, it looks great. You get all this extra detail on the top here. You can kind of see that there is the nose cone right underneath here, which is kind of, I mean, when it comes to triple changers, the one thing that I have discovered with every triple changer, even when it comes to like Hasbro or a third party, one of the modes always just loses its touch. For example, even like the Blitzwing. I love that Blitzwing, and I think it's a pretty good transformation. But again, like the airplane mode suffers, but the tank mode looks great. Now, just like this one, I think the plane mode is probably going to end up suffering just by looking at the pictures. And then you can see here, it's beefy too. So like, there's a couple tabs on this thing you have to be careful about. So there is, a lot of people they've made this mistake in the transformations because the instructions are terrible. The instructions are not great. And I actually had to look up a couple videos, and I ended up finding Imgo's video on how to transform it, and he probably did the best in terms of explaining it. So I do recommend checking out his video for transformation. But there's a couple of mistakes I've noticed a lot of people made. That's with these hip skirts. The hip skirts have to pop out. Now, in Imgo's video, he did explain how you have to like move plastic over plastic. I didn't have that problem. So copies may vary. Another issue that I had, which a lot of people say they don't have, is this nose cone. You can see it's not really plugged in properly. And that was the best I could get it. You see it's not really plugged in right here. There's two tabs right here, but I can't get it to plug in right here. And as a result of that, you can see this part right here is not fully plugged in properly. So it's kind of pushing up a little bit. I can kind of get it, but it's not the best. Also too, another thing that I would like to point out that people seem to have issues with, the toes. I didn't have any issues with the toes. I literally pulled it out with my finger. So, and you can see right here, it's not really closing in all the way. Another issue that I have with my copy is the feet. Some people have issues getting the feet out. Mine just kind of, like, I can easily get them in and out once I initially got them out the first time. So, you know, and then there he is. Honestly, he cleans up really well. I mean, other than, you know, all the pieces for like the windshield and stuff, and you can kind of see some of the carrier under here. But other than that, I didn't have a horrible time transforming it. I can tell you right now, trying to do this on camera probably would have been a pain. And then also too, you can kind of, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a tab right in there. It just doesn't want to go down. But everything else tabbed in. Maybe it's supposed to be like that much of a gap. I feel like it should be more flush. I also have an issue with one of these, just not, sometimes like it's not doing it now, but sometimes it would just like pop out. It's not as, it doesn't plug in, so be careful. And otherwise, I mean, you know, and then like all the detailing, I didn't really talk about too much about the detailing. And then there's kind of a gap in between here too. But overall, like just looking at it from the top, I mean, it's solid. I mean, it's solid. The only thing is like this back piece is kind of wiggly. That's my only real concern, is like that's kind of fiddly. And then there's actually a tab right here. And you actually flip that tab. Now, I think you can kind of transform this without taking the tab out, but you can see how there's a tab here and here. It just sits in there. It doesn't actually tab in. This is very, very loose. So that's kind of unfortunate. But I mean, for the most part, and then this can be displayed any way you want. And then of course, I do believe you can tab in all the weapons. Yeah, so you can store the guns, and I don't think you can store the axes, but, so I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I'll have to look at a video or something. But you can store the weapons on the side, and it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I mean, because you have to think about it, like, you know, water would be up to here. And if I ever did like a diorama with this thing, I would probably build like where it would sit in a cavity. And so you'd only kind of see the top, and like this part right here would be like kind of blacked out. So I mean, it's not too bad. So I'm gonna go ahead now, we're gonna get it into its jet mode, and we're gonna take a look at the jet mode. So here he is in his jet mode. And I have to say, the jet mode is, like I said before, it looks okay, but there's just some things about it that just, you know, just look unfinished. Like for example, you have this piston right here, which is the armature for like how it moves and stuff. Obviously, you know, you can clearly see like, you know, another issue that I have, you saw it just happened. It does not click in, and you saw it right there. You see that? This joint is extremely weak. So like, this is for storage, but like it just, I'm gonna like just not have it on because it's just extremely weak. It's extremely weak. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing to me. But otherwise, I mean, and then so here's the back side. So you got these wheels. They work, but they kind of keep like, so like they're kind of stiff, but like it does. Now I can't get it to come out, but I think it'll be fine. But yeah, there's the other side. And the nice thing about this is that it does roll. You know, I honestly like the Battleship mode a lot better. So a number of problems, of course. Flipping this out was kind of a pain to get out, but it was doable without having to you can do it without transforming it. I almost was like, I'm just gonna pull it out. These, I don't know if I like the colors. I don't know if I like that. I think I would prefer it just being just white, but I mean, I get it. This, I don't know if I just didn't click something in here, but just grabbing it, see how easy that pops open. So like, it kind of, it's not terrible. The wings, they don't really lock in. They just kind of, you know, you can kind of sway them any way you want, but you know, I think that's the official transformation for them. Again, the rockets in the back. I mean, it's your typical triple changer where, you know, just flip it around. You know, Blitzwing does the same thing. Astro Train kind of does the same thing. He flips around. So, I mean, it is what it is, kind of a deal. But, I mean, overall, guys, I actually really like this. I really do like it. Studio, I mean, I think Fans Toys is actually supposed to be doing one. And I don't know if I would want to spend the $300, possibly close to $400 that might end up being. I don't really know what Fans Toys will end up charging for it, but I think it looks really good. I really like it. I think it also, the storage kind of works the same way, where you can plug the guns right here. So basically the same port. So you have It looks kind of ridiculous, but you know, you can store the weapons. The axe, I'm glad I bought it. I was hesitant when they announced it, and I was like, you know what? But it ended up being, I think it was like $120. It wasn't expensive. You know, the materials feel a little strange to me. They don't feel like, I mean, I feel like the materials are strong enough where I didn't feel like I was gonna break anything. There are some tolerance issues. Example, like the hip skirts, there's kind of issues there with the hip skirts not wanting to plug in. This chest, the way the chest works is actually very interesting. I actually do like the way it works. It just doesn't, for my copy, doesn't seem like it wants to connect properly. Again, you have issues where, like, you know, this piece right here didn't want to click in. Landing gears don't want to come out. I had issues here with these pins not coming in and out. Otherwise than that, and then, like, you can see right there, it's actually not even plugged in now. Like, it's supposed to plug in. Yeah, you can see in the backside, they're not even plugged. Sorry, there you go. You can see these aren't even plugged in the way they're supposed to be. They just don't want to. They just sit there. It looks fine, but it's not secure the way it's supposed to be, which is why I think this is the weakest mode. I could probably mess around with it a bit more to get things to plug in, but the way the weight and this joint is right here, I just don't think it's there. But I do recommend it for your collection. I wish I still had my Titan Return version. And I think there was a Legends version that was made after the Titan Return version, Broadside. And, you know, getting a G1 Broadside would be kind of cool too. But, you know, I've never really seen one in the wild. And who knows what they go for on the aftermarket if anybody even has one in decent condition. But I think it's really cool. I think it's a really, really cool figure. Yeah, it's a really cool figure. I really like it. Here he is next to Crasher. Size comparison there. So there he is next to Crasher. And then here he is with a missing link. So you can see the size comparisons there. You don't really have any third-party masterpiece figures in vehicle modes to compare it to. But yeah, there you go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you guys enjoyed watching it, I encourage you to head over to MajinPlanet. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Check out this one right up here in the corner. And as always, guys, until next time.